Who's ready for some fun? Who enjoys a podcast where the host speaks about what's on their minds and doesn't hold back? PD&J, What's Good Today, is an open format podcast hosted by Pocket and J-Dub the King. Let's talk about sports, let's talk about music, let's just have an interesting conversation. If you have any topics for us to discuss, email pdnjmediaproductionsllc@gmail.com. Tune in to PD&J, What's Good Today, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube Live at J-Dub the King.
What's good, folks? What's good? How you doing? Welcome back. It's a brand new week, so it's a brand new Wednesday, so you know what that means.
Yeah.
What's good today? PD&J in the building. I am your host, Jay, and why the heck are you looking at me like that?
I knew it was the Super Bowl, but there was a bird playing, but it wasn't no damn red bird.
No. What's the problem?
I'm confused, man.
Subscribe and get your issue. What's up?
I don't have to subscribe. That's the issue. They didn't even make the playoffs.
No, they did not, but I still rip my team hard.
4-13. I guess somebody needs to support them. What's up, folks? It's Pocket. We're here. Yeah, we already starting. Getting into it. Ain't nothing to it. How y'all doing?
I don't like you sometimes.
Rise up, Red Sea. Yeah, we going in. We acting a fool, man. If y'all didn't know, there was this huge concert that was interrupted by a game. Oh wait, I said that wrong. I meant a huge game. They had a bonus concert.
Still said that wrong.
I still said it wrong. But what am I trying to say?
There was an incredible
concert. Oh no! Wait.
Go ahead.
No, it was just a great concert. I'm saying it was a wonderful concert. We had a pregnancy reveal and everything. I mean, what else can you ask for? We had people coming out the ceiling, had little sperms. You had people in little white outfits. It doesn't even sound right. Little white outfits running around. It was a hell of a concert. And the football game, one for the ages. If you didn't see it, you missed out on a great one.
That was a great game. That was one hell of a game. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. Hold on. Shout out to making history. Two brothers making history in the Super Bowl. I'm not talking about the Kelsey brothers at that.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there. Tony Dungy said it best. I mean, and Herm Edwards said it best.
Herm or Tony? Tony.
I meant Herm.
Okay. Okay.
Herm Edwards said it West.
West.
No, he said it. It would happen. He said it the best. He said that if you're subjected just because it's two black quarterbacks playing, it sucks because it should be that two great quarterbacks were playing.
They were. And
what's funny is the only people that made it about race, I hate to say this, black folks.
I didn't hear too much from our community.
Oh, I did.
To that. But what I will say that I do agree with that statement that Jalen Hurts played one hell of a game. One of the top 5 in the losing. A shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. They had their parade today.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. But shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs once again on top as your 2022-23 NFL Super Bowl champions.
57 Super Bowl 57 champs.
There you go.
Easy way to say it.
There you go.
Because trying to say 2022, I Super Bowl 57. They won it, but we're getting no let up because guess what? Saturday the XFL comes back with your league CEO, The Rock. So I mean, we're gonna have football all year round. I'm here for it.
This is going to be very interesting to me, just for the aspect that you got the XFL, but then you also have
USFL starting in April.
USFL as well. So to me, it's more so like, okay, is this going to be? Is this great for football?
Well, you got to think. A lot of people, that's all they watch is football. As much as they want to say baseball is the American pastime, football has passed baseball in a lot of aspects. Unfortunately,
A lot of aspects. I do agree with that.
With their entertainment factor, with the rivalries that actually are rivalries. It's a lot of parity in football as opposed to baseball. I mean, you got 5 teams that are always spending the most money in baseball, whereas football, they know you don't spend money, you ain't gonna win. Like, it's just that simple.
And the NFL follows the script.
No, they didn't. How do you remember? The script was supposed
the script. So I had text Pocket a picture that my son had he sent to me. He was like, "Dad, look, check this out." I said, "Oh, so this is what the script's supposed to be." The score was supposed to be 37-34 in favor of the Eagles winning with a last-minute drive from Jalen Hurts.
But they forgot who the other quarterback was. He must have said, "Hold, you know what? Hold my hot dog. Hold my burger. Let me show you something." First of all, it was, I think when you texted me that, the score was pretty close.
I think it was 7-3 or something.
No, it was 24-10. It was 24 or 20. Was it?
No, it was still in the first quarter when I texted you that. It wasn't that deep. It was like 7-3, 10-3, something like that.
Oh, yeah. It was 10-7.
10-7, yeah, 10-7.
So they missed the next first field goal. And I was like, well,
yeah.
I don't know. And I said, I don't think. I was like, I don't think so. I didn't see it till like the third quarter, I think, or something. And I texted you back, and I'm like, well, there goes that idea. So they've got Mahomes had the wrong script.
I guess so. Now, speaking of Super Bowl, I want to transition into one thing.
My niece is disappointed.
Why?
Shout out Olivia.
Hold on, why?
Why are you disappointed?
Why? I want to know why. Why?
Don't tell me we were pulling for the Eagles.
No, are you disappointed in the Rihanna show, or are you disappointed in the game?
Nobody disappointed in the concert. I mean, the concert was great. It was just everybody. We all expected someone to come out.
Yes.
And then
I honestly thought Jay was going to come out for a hot second. I thought Jay was going to come out when she started that song. And we knew that Jay was in the building. So I'm thinking, hey.
Here's why Jay didn't do it. I don't know if you know, but Jay was actually busy.
Okay.
He was his daughter's personal photographer. If you didn't know that.
Apparently.
He was
I saw them.
So he was not allowed to perform.
I saw those photos. But anyway, I want to transition to something real quick. Michael Irvin. I gotta get your money, bro. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Michael Irvin is not only suing this lady. We talked about it last week, I think. I think we touched on it.
No, we talked.
Okay, so if y'all don't know what happened, there was a 45-second conversation or interaction that took place.
Ooh. She said why? Their teams are the 49ers and Giants.
Never mind.
My condolences.
Mine too. Okay. Michael Irvin had a 45-second interaction with an individual. Okay.
A female. Why did you mind? It was a woman he had an interaction with, 45 seconds, strictly just verbal, and a handshake. And she said whatever she said. We don't even know what she said.
She cried wolf. Let's just say that. I don't believe the story. And he's now not only suing that woman, but he's also suing the hotel, correct? For $100 million, in which is the amount of money that he would have gotten per doing the Super Bowl that weekend and fulfilling this contract with the NFL Network. Am I correct? So,
possibly. They don't ever list the details.
But I just find it funny.
Mm-hmm.
I find it very funny that this cancel culture is unbelievably wrong. Like, I don't get it. Apparently there was surveillance video that the hotel's not giving up or releasing or anything like that. What's going on with that?
You got to remember what the hotel said. They looked at the video and didn't see anything he did wrong.
And didn't the police say that there was nothing really to investigate as well?
Yeah, the police didn't investigate at all. So I don't. It's not like everything else. A money grabbing, a money smash and grab. Is it? Well, no smash, but just grab.
It makes me wonder if Warren Sapp got set up the last time he was down there. Yeah, I went there. No, he set himself up, but
Warren Sapp's been known as a womanizer, so
has
he went to the University of Miami the same time as Michael Irvin, same time as Ray Lewis.
Okay.
Do I need to go to the same time as The Rock? Do I need to go? Do I need to go there with that? No, I don't.
Why did you bring up The Rock though?
Because he was a part of the team. He was actually a star on that team.
Yeah.
All of them were stars.
Yeah.
To think he was the one that didn't make it to the NFL. I don't know. According to what they said, they thought he was going to be. He had the talent, but he wasn't tall enough.
Here's the question that I pose: does he get all his money, or is he going to settle? Is there a suit?
No, he's not. He's not gonna settle.
No.
He's a cowboy. You know, cowboys never give up.
Stop it. We have cowboy fans watching. Stop.
What will we do about it?
Well, nothing. Really, nothing. Hey, I tried. Whatever.
I mean, they can come on and talk about, hey, we've been to the Super Bowl. Yeah, but you know how many Super Bowl champions have been around? My kids weren't even born yet. It's pretty bad when you can say that. My kids weren't even born yet when the last time y'all won a Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay. He went there. I lost my train of thought.
But you know what? But coming down to it, it's about time somebody did something with all these women crying. Well, actually, all these women crying wolf in situations, costing men their jobs.
There we go. Back on track. Jail time.
Jail time?
Do you think she deserves jail time?
Here's what I think. If she can't pay, she goes to jail. Longer.
What about both? I think it should be both, personally.
You didn't catch me. You didn't catch what I just said. I said if she can't pay, she should go to jail longer. So they never said she shouldn't go to jail.
How much time do you think she gets?
Let's see. 45 seconds. Times 2 divided by 3. Carry the 1. About 18 years.
What do y'all think?
18 years.
Our comments are open.
18 years.
I do want to get your opinion on this. Michael Irvin suing for $100 million. You done?
What? You asked me. I said 18 years.
And then you went into a Kanye verse. When did we do that?
What are you talking about? You just speaking facts.
Mm-hmm.
The facts, she needs 18 years.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't his. It wasn't him.
Billy G.
Not his lover at all.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, my God. This is going to be open show today. Actually, there's a lot that's been going on.
There's a lot we want to touch on. Staying with, you know what? We can keep the sports thing going. Shout out to women's boxing, changing it. We finally got Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis finally agreed on something.
I think that happened when he saw Gervonta Davis had messed up his ankle and thought he was going to get him on that. I think that's what happened.
Well, did you see
I think that's what happened. But Gervonta Davis is playing possum. I think so. He might have tweaked it a little bit, but
So
he's acting.
Here's what I want
man.
everybody to do.
Man.
There is a few videos of Javonte Davis training. This man's IQ is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just watch the counters he's doing. Now, what the problem is, well, people, all these Ryan Garcia fans, right? I'm a boxing fanboy. I'm not a Ryan Garcia fan. I do have a partial favoritism to Tank because of where he's from. But the thing with Ryan Garcia, if you understand boxing, he overcommits on his punches. This is not the guy you want to do that with. One, because of his power. Two, because of his speed. Garcia's fast. But the counters that Tank has been practicing, one tells me he's been practicing that a while. It ain't something you just do overnight. He's been practicing a while. And if Garcia overcommits on his punches, it's going to be a short night. A really short night. But just also, Tank can't start slow like he normally does. That's another thing. He cannot start slow. He cannot, because he kind of reminds me of an assassin. He just sits there and he's downloading you. He already knows what you're going to do if he watches enough tape on you. But then when he sees you in action, at the same time, he's setting you up. Think about with Rolly is the perfect one. He let Rolly get his punches off, and he kept fainting. And then once he really committed to trying to hit the Tank, when he thought he had Tank on the ropes, it was night.
Right on night. Well,
oh, excuse me, I had to burp, y'all. I didn't want to do that out loud.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
So, Super Bowl recap. How was your guys' Super Bowl? There was a bunch of parties that were going on.
Wait. I'm glad you brought that up. Wasn't there something you said you wanted to recap after last week that you didn't agree with me charging?
Okay. Really? We're going there.
You mentioned the parties.
You
mentioned the parties.
So?
No. Tell him.
No,
tell him.
You tell him.
No, you tell him. You're the one that said you got to recant what you said.
I said I might.
No, you said you were.
Okay, here we go. So, as far as the Super Bowl parties and how much they were charging and the amount of people that were paying to get in, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. Like, come on, people. Have some. Damn. You have to prove this man right. Why did you have to prove this man right?
I don't think they understand what you're saying. Because some people may have not looked at last week's episode. So why don't you explain to them what we're talking about here? Let's explain. Why don't you explain to them? Let me do a replay of last week for you, a really quick replay. So as we know, we were talking about the Beyonce concert, which I'm going to touch on Beyonce again this week from another aspect. But
you going to touch on Beyonce?
I'm not touching Beyonce. I'm going to touch on something that's been going on among the Christians.
Oh, so that BS.
Yeah. But what I want y'all to understand, people were complaining about what she's charging. And I said,
the sad part about it, they spending this ridiculous amount of money for it. Like, at the end of the day, how are you charging $125 in a hole in the wall spot?
Because they ain't gonna fix the place up.
And they still getting in.
Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's take a look and see what the Beyonce tickets are going for right now.
Why? We're going back to.
We're going on the hub.
Just pick any city.
Well, this is all UK. I want the US.
Oh.
I'm not flying internationally to go see this one.
Yes, you would. People already are.
That's their dumb fault. Let's pick Soldier Field in July because he ain't going in the winter. We'll say 2 tickets, right? Okay, see, it's not that bad. Now, what does that tell you? All those tickets that we were looking at are international.
Let's go back here.
Let's go to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm doing 2 tickets. See, it's still not that bad. You think about it.
She dropped her prices.
No, she didn't drop her prices. Here's what you got here. So you know what happened? She didn't drop her prices.
And France is even cheaper.
So that's Stockholm.
Oh, that's
Sweden.
Okay. So
basically, what I just showed them the prices were the real prices. The real prices for a concert range from $65
to 500.
Well, probably more than that for the VIP area. But that goes to show you that people are so in tune with messing with stuff and taking your train of thought, your focus away from the things that actually do matter. Well, what matters? Ohio, praying for I forgot what it is, Lebanon, Ohio, I think, or something like that. Lebanon, Ohio, where they had the train derailing. That's not getting any news. A train derailing of massive amounts of radioactive chemicals that are making people sick. It's the same radioactive chemicals that were in World War I that were being used, causing people to their eyes to water constantly, kids' eyes red, animals would die. And they're told the people they can come back home. They cleared out the towns and told them they can move back in, and they're still suffering. So now people are moving their kids out and getting away. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that Beyonce's charging so much money on her tickets. Let's not look at the fact that we're sending so much money over to the Ukraine for what? Let's not focus on the fact there's a oil freighter that collapsed and blew up in California.
Now I am looking at tickets. And I have seen tickets as little as a couple of $100. However, I do still see tickets ranging at $4,500 but those are like damn near front row seats.
Okay, exactly, front row seats. So what do you expect them to charge for a front row seat?
And the most that I see here that she charged was.
But wait, that's not even that's a second.
Okay, so the most that she's charged.
That's not even her. Vivid Seats is not through. That's not a. That's a, what do you call it? A ticket scalper, not ticket scalper. You know what I'm talking about.
Third party.
Yeah, third party.
Yeah. Well, Ticketmaster has them on hold. See, Ticketmaster takes you to SeatGeek.
Because Ticketmaster sold out. SeatGeek bought Baltimore.
And they're on
hold. Well, that's for here, Arizona.
Yeah, for here.
She doesn't release those yet to Arizona. I mean, they will eventually, but you know.
I thought she did already.
You had to have was it American Express thing, platinum level, gold level, whatever that is. But again, it goes to show that you people will eat up anything except for the right thing.
You'll pay for entertainment just to get that distraction. I think that's the point of what he was trying to get from all of that. There's a lot that's going on. Here's the thing about it. I have a big problem when we're creating refuge and doing more for overseas individuals than what we do for ourselves. If that makes sense. Domestically, we needed that $78 trillion or $45 billion that they sent to the Ukraine. We needed that. I don't care how you can code it. You can sugarcoat it left and right, however you want to. Us as America and Americans, we needed it. I'm sure you probably disagree with that.
Disagree with the fact that we need it?
Yeah.
We just don't need the money. We need a whole reformation project.
Infrastructure with that.
Yeah. It's not. There's money going to things that don't even exist. Like, for instance, I'm going to tell you how powerful we are as human beings. There used to be a toll on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge to help build the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, they just kept charging the toll. So finally, as a whole, people started speaking up like, well, why are we paying for the bridge still if it's still already built? So you know what they did? They said, well, you know what? During the best travel days, we're not gonna charge you anymore.
Okay.
But they still charge in the off season for maintenance.
Now, You keep talking because you're about to segue into something that we kind of talked about yesterday in our production meeting. That we gonna hurt some people's feelings real quick, but it's all good. Keep talking.
You don't love hurt people's feelings because hurt people hurt people.
All right, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? Okay, folks, do you agree the IRS should be abolished?
Okay, let's recant. We say this every week. Now we're getting to the point. It's tax season. Or first of all, it's tax season.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to rephrase this question. How many of you, instead of putting your money into a decent savings or putting it somewhere else, depend on
a tax refund.
Your tax refund to plan your trips, plan what you want to do for the next year, for improvements, plan or whatever you're going to do for the next year.
Yeah.
Or better yet, use that money to buy new cars.
Or whatever it is that you're going to do.
But you don't invest in yourself. How many of you do that?
There's a lot of people that rely on that income tax return. And here's the thing about it. We keep bringing this up, but there is actually a petition that's about to happen where they want to abolish the IRS and just create one flat tax.
Well, it's not a petition. It's not a petition. It was a bill that was brought up.
A bill, okay.
In the House of Representatives that passed in the House.
Got passed.
Now it's about the Senate. Now here's the ironic thing. Do you know what party formulated this bill? This will blow people's minds.
Go ahead.
The Republican Party.
Yes.
The Reformed Republican Party. Why do I say Reformed? Because if you go back and look now, go take a look. Do yourselves a favor. Go look now to see how many lifelong Republican politicians are still there. Not many anymore. A lot of them are self-made millionaires, and they realize this is ridiculous. Because they pay. See, what you got to understand, when you're a millionaire, yeah, we always talk about how many tax write-offs they get, but guess what? How much they pay in taxes for their business, what the laws they have to sit there and go through, and how much taxes they have to pay for their business. Period. It's something we don't think about because we're not in that bracket. None of us are. If we were, I'm pretty sure the comments would be blowing up right now. You guys, you're telling too much. You're talking too much. I get it. I'm with you on that. If you're going to have an IRS, make it for everyone and not looking at the whole.
I don't think there should be one, period.
No. Again, no, we agree with that. But what I'm saying, if you're going to have one, refocus it on where it needs to be.
And how would you what would you refocus about the IRS? Because none of it is favorable for the common man.
That's why I said refocus it. Because that's what they're focused on, the common. It's the uncommon they need to focus on. It's that top 5%, 10% they need to focus on. The rest of us, we're busting our butts every day, every single day.
Yeah.
Trying to rob Peter to pay Paul.
So what you're saying is that top 5% needs to be taxed.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not even saying that. I'm not saying they need to be taxed.
Okay.
I'm saying all the audits that happen that they claim are they're auditing the rich is not happening. They're auditing the middle class, the lower class, and below class.
So go after them.
Class.
Go after them and leave us alone.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
What's happening is they'll audit them, maybe a light audit, not even an in-detail audit, and then they'll go, well, all right, we're gonna find out. Oh, well, you know what? Let me go over here. You and your family make what, $110,000? Let's make sure you made $110,000. Oh, well, you know what? It shows that you made an extra $10,000 somewhere. So you owe us $10,000. But what about old boy over there? You didn't give him that same in-depth audit, did you? You didn't. Why? Because we don't have the lawyers. Because we had the lawyers. You ain't gonna fight it with so long.
And it's also the aspect that they know how to hide money. That top 5% knows something about hiding money. They have the capability of being able to do so. You see what I'm saying? So I guarantee you, if the uncommon, as you say, had access to the same resources, whether it was $20 or $20 million. We gonna find a way to hide it.
You know what's funny? This is something that just popped up in my head. $20 to you and me is $5 to them.
Yeah.
$100 to us is still $5 to them. You want to know why? Because they know all the breaks. Think about it. If people are like, well, why would it be $10? Like, no. Think about it. The same $20 to them is $1,000 to us. Because you know what?
The value of that dollar means more to them than what it means to us. And the reason why I say it like that, and just follow me on this. We'll be quick to get $1,000 in a tax refund and you want to go and get the new Birkin purse or.
Well, I would say
some people.
Most people are smart now. They don't do that. What they'll do is they'll plan their next cruise. They'll plan their next trip with that $1,000
instead of in whatever the case may be.
But
you're splurging.
Yeah,
you want to take that money and splurge, which rightfully so. If that's your choice, then that's your choice. That's your money.
But here's the thing: you're paying the IRS, and you're not getting any interest back.
That is what I've been trying to say this whole time.
You're paying the IRS, but you're not getting interest on your return. Think about this: if you owe them money, what are they doing? They're charging you what?
Interest.
Be it 1%, 2%, 5%,
5% at that.
So think about how is that fair? And then every day you don't pay them and you owe them,
that's compounded interest.
But the thing is, when you file your taxes, first here's what people you need to understand. And I heard this the other day. You file your taxes, all they're doing is basically checking that what they have, what they've already received is right. They already know what they owe you. They've known it all year. It's just verifying it. Think about that. And they take their time giving you your money.
And if you haven't noticed this year when you guys file, if you haven't, you're going to get less back this year. And that's good old Biden. Can't believe I voted for him.
There's a lot of that going around. There's really a lot of that going around. One thing I will say that people didn't understand. They use that model, buy American. What is American anymore?
Oh, so I'm glad that you brought that up. So, about these Chinese objects and coming into our airspace and America's about to go to war with China and this, that, and everything else. Please, folks, don't feed into this hype because America don't want that smoke with China of all countries. We don't want that smoke because if that's the case, you might as well send that PS5 that you're watching us through. Send it back.
Well, that's made in Taiwan. Taiwan is the only independent country.
Okay, well, is it really made in Taiwan?
Yeah.
Or certain pieces come from Taiwan?
I mean, the pieces come from all over, but those of you that have Android phones.
Your phones. I mean, at the end of the day, there's your cars. You know what I mean? There's a lot of clothes, bags, purses. I mean,
man purses,
whatever you want to call them. Send it back. We don't want it with them. Nah, don't feed into that. Please don't.
But here's what we will feed into. Because half the balloons they're finding out are not just China, but Russia too. And Russia ought to know better. They ought to. But it's just a matter of the right things happening at the right time.
Do you think Russia and China are in cahoots?
Well, they're both communists. So
yeah.
Obviously, they're in cahoots. What's funny is it's kind of like with what were the last of the superpowers, but when you think about the allied powers, as they called them back in the day, we all had a common goal that we wanted peace of everything. If you didn't catch what I just said, a piece of everything. That's what the Allied powers is about. Let's control everything. Let's make sure we have the monopoly of everything. Whereas you looked at the communists, they're the enemy of my enemy is what that boils down to. One communist country ain't going to trust the other one, but guess what? They got a common goal. They got a common hatred for the U.S. They got a common hatred for all the other Allied powers. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because we're supplying the Ukraine with money. Because think about this. Here's something to honestly think about. When it came to supplying the Ukraine, we were threatened. Remember that? Yeah. Russia said, don't you dare get involved.
Yeah.
Don't be sending them stuff. We haven't stopped. We just sent them, what, another few $1 trillion? I don't know what they're doing with the money, but, and I don't know if they're wiring it or what. They send it to Zelle or something. They're dropping it out the air. What's going on? Like, and if I sound like, I want to say this. If I sound like I am a little irked, yeah, I am.
Out what pocket?
I will always be irked with the Ukraine. If I could post a video of the people of color that were not being allowed to leave the country because they weren't light enough or whatever the problem was, and then all of a sudden when they come to the English, said, wait a minute, those are our foreign exchange people. You better let them out. Oh, well, we didn't know who they were. You knew who they were. You saw the videos with the people with their papers in hand, and you wouldn't let them on the vehicles for whatever reason. What's the phrase that the Christians say? God don't like what?
Your face? No, that's not it.
I believe it's ugly. I believe that's what the saying is. For once, that's a saying that I actually do agree with. He don't like ugly. And the other favorite one that you like to say, karma is a.
Oh, there was something I was going to say to that one, but okay, I'll leave that one alone. Because you're trying to be serious right now.
Because karma is a.
Butthole.
A mother. Because when she comes hella strong. She comes with no filter. And I think that's what's happening right now with Ukraine. And the earthquakes. Shout out to the survivors of the earthquakes. But again, this is exactly why I can't have a church. These earthquakes, I wouldn't send relief. That's just me. Because the way y'all treat people. Now I'm just going to stop right there. Because if I say any more, about it, the way they treat people. I'm talking about people that look like me, people that look like you. You can't go there by yourself. I mean, I know they got these digital nomads that do this stuff and they do these videos, but they don't show you where they're actually going and how they're actually being treated day to day. They show you the good side. They don't show you the bad side, the digital nomads. And what if you don't know what a digital nomad is? It's someone who is hired by a company to go stay somewhere and work virtually for a few months, and you get paid great amounts of money. Some countries it's not worth it. I mean, I feel bad for the one video of the guy that was holding his dead daughter's hand, teenage daughter's hand.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that, but I'm sorry, man. It's me. It's just the way I'm built. I feel sorry for the father that lost his child, but at the same time, the way y'all treat people is not exactly the way you should be treating people.
And okay, so when you say,
here's what I mean. People always talk about how the police treat us here.
Okay.
People want to talk about how we're treated here.
Okay.
And I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. Nothing compares to how you're treated in quite a few Eastern European countries. There are quite a few countries, they tell you, you better not come there by yourself. You better come with a group for your protection. People forget The KKK and different organizations like that, white supremacist organizations, they started in what country? Think about it. They didn't necessarily start here. They migrated from one country to here. Think about that.
But when you say the way that we treat people, are you talking about us as Americans?
I'm talking about
you started your statement off by saying, if it was up to you, you wouldn't send relief.
Right.
Because of the way that we treat people, meaning us as Americans.
Yeah.
Okay. So
what I mean, okay, so what that
are we doing that to highlight, okay, we are America and we can do this, and yeah, we're the good guys and this, that, and everything else? Or do you think that we're doing it just to not feel guilty of the shit that we put other people through?
There you go. But here's the funny thing. If we felt so guilty about how we treated people, why don't we ever send relief to Africa?
Low-key fact, Africa ain't really that damn bad.
No, it's not. But there's still quite a few countries that do need help.
There are, but it's not as bad as what America portrays it to be.
They only do that because...
You know what I mean? They make it seem like there's a lot of poor folks in Ethiopia, and it's really not.
It's very select, but at the same time, what I always say is, it's ongoing struggles there.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. I won't take that away. You're absolutely right. I won't take the struggles away. All countries have their struggles and stuff like that, so I won't take that away. But yeah, go ahead.
But, there's ongoing struggles there. If that's considered the motherland, the home for all mankind, why is there not much support where it's needed?
Where would we support them at?
Okay, so there's been... Where did most of the terminal diseases come from? Okay, let me change that. AIDS, where'd it come from? H1N1, where'd it come from? Salmonella. The number one thing we can't say came from there, which is probably maybe debatable, is your corona. Most of these man-made diseases came out of Africa. Think about the late 80s, early 90s, when we had the AIDS outbreak. And people were like, wow. Then they come to find out it came from Africa, but the whole storyline of how it came out of Africa, nobody can get it straight. To this day, nobody can get it straight. How did it come out of Africa? They know it came out of Africa. There's proof of it.
And that's where my controversy comes in, because there's so many mixed stories about, oh, well, this came out of Africa, this, in regards to your point about AIDS specifically. Makes me hard. It makes me hesitant to really believe that if it even came out of there to begin with, because okay, they want to make it a center point, a ground zero. What if that was man-made and it outbroke in a goddamn scientist lab here in the United States somewhere, but they didn't want that information out?
It would be nice if that was right, but like I said, they've poured the ground zero started in Africa. Just like with the coronavirus, or what, I guess I didn't got COVID, they proved that ground zero was in China. They even found the wet market it came out of. So they can always trace it back. But then what do you do when you trace it back? That's the question. All of a sudden now, years later, we've got all these new HIV drugs that make it pretty much non-existent, non-detectable. I mean, thank Magic Johnson, because he got it, so he put all his money into it. Not all of his money, well, not all of his money, but y'all know what I'm saying. He put a considerable amount of money into it. But Dr. Sebi, everybody talks about him, the controversy behind that. Ooh, controversy. We'll talk about that, don't we? A lot of they said he had the cure for cancer.
You don't believe that?
I don't think I think the real cure for cancer is still sitting in Africa, where it started. I jumped ahead of myself. Yeah, cancer. The enhancement of the cancerous cell came out of Africa.
Know that cancer started with a cat?
Well, no, that's not true. That's where I'll take that back. The enhancement of cancer.
Yeah.
Certain enhancements of cancer. But cancer is actually, everybody has cancer cells in their body. It's a matter of them being dormant or active. And that's a scary thought. To think that you walk around every day, you have cancerous cells in your body. It's just a matter of them being active.
And to me, I think that's, and this might sound ignorant, but at the end of the day, I think that's more Americans than anybody else in this world. Why? Because with the vaccinations that they give us, we don't necessarily know what they're giving us.
I can't agree with you there, because here's a great thing to know. Everyone talks about getting vaccinated. These other countries don't have that problem. People that get vaccinated, not even. The worst thing about us is our freedom. The best thing about us is our freedoms. We're different. We have so many freedoms that other countries don't have. So we can sit there and say, no, I don't want to take that. But you know what's been happening? I don't know if you may pay attention to this. Inside of schools, inside the United States, they have a poster that says, if your child is not vaccinated, they will not be allowed to come to this school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that. They don't have it at my kid's school.
I'm quite sure they do.
I've been all throughout that school.
I'm quite sure they do. If I've seen it I've seen it in the potential high school my daughter's interested in, and the school her and my son are in right now. I've seen that same sign posted.
I have.
So I'm like, wow. Now because you know why? Because now they have the choice. Your kid can go online to do school. If you want to do homeschooling, they'll issue you a computer so you can do homeschooling for your child. They're not putting people at risk anymore. They're sick of it. You don't have to get vaccinated, but you're not coming to this school. You're not coming in this district. I agree with it.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen that sign. It might just be in certain districts. But I haven't even seen that sign yet. And leaving it up to our current governor that was just elected is following Doug Ducey's protocol in regards to the COVID vaccines with kids. Did you notice that? Didn't make no change whatsoever.
Well, she was supposed to.
But didn't.
She's supposed to do a lot of stuff.
But didn't. Well, she's still fairly new. Let's see what happens.
Keep saying that. Y'all been saying that about Sleepy Joe for 2 years now. He's new. No, he's sleep.
But you bring up some valid points. Some of them I can see. Some of them I can't. I don't have a stance on that sign because again I haven't seen it myself.
Google it. Google about vaccinations in schools in Arizona. You can Google that. You can go ahead and Google it. It'll tell you. They leave it. I think they do leave it up to the district for the most part. Every district's taking a stance.
Every district is different, though.
What I'm saying, every district has agreed to take a similar stance. And you're going, if you haven't seen it, that's because you're not looking for it. But it's clear as day.
Like I was just at the inside of the school. What was it on Monday? Didn't see that sign at all. So, like I said, it could be certain districts as of right now. It might be something that moving forward might be implemented in other school districts, but I don't think all school districts have that right now.
I already told you, look it up, Google it.
So
even with the COVID vaccine, they stopped letting kids back in school. That's when they started. When people decided they want their kids to have the vaccine, they said, well, your kids can't come back into school. And if they come to school, they got to wear a mask. And then even then, people were it's because the problem was people were fighting about it. That's the thing they were fighting about.
Now, that is one thing that my son's school does require is that all kids still wear masks. That right there, they still have all their kids wearing a mask. Because every time I drop them off for the majority part, I still see majority of those kids wearing masks. And the ones that don't have some teacher that's handing them one of those disposable masks.
Oh, you forgot yours? I got you.
Yeah, that part. So I know that's still going around, but yeah, I haven't seen that sign. That's crazy. That's crazy. So are you done with your rant for the day?
We still had to talk about conspiracies.
Good old conspiracies. I think we kind of beat them up with conspiracies enough today. You got another conspiracy?
Not about conspiracies, about how you put too much effort into conspiracies. Remember, so we're going to talk about that. How people put too much effort into a conspiracy.
I love a good conspiracy, though. You give me one that I could pick apart and dissect it. I love a good conspiracy.
So everything you just said is what's wrong. People will sit there, take all their time and effort away from what actually matters to sit there and dissect and have dialect about a conspiracy before they talk about the things that needed to be said and talked about.
Give me an example of what conspiracy of what you're talking about, Pocky.
We just talked about conspiracies. Now you want to talk about more conspiracies?
Sure, why not? Throw one out.
Are you drunk?
Not yet.
Because I'm not going to sit there and keep talking about conspiracies. We've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, just one more.
Anyway, the fact that when it comes down to it, everyone wants to focus on, again, Beyonce's tickets, how much they're costing. They want to focus on what is going on in the air. They want to focus on everything else but the fact that our country's falling apart. Has been falling apart for at least the past 30 years. Actually, when did Rodney King happen? 95? So about 40
Rodney
years.
King happened in 91.
What am I thinking about 95? Something happened in 95. Something happened in 95. Oh, yeah. Don't want to talk about that.
I don't know what just happened, but that was what just happened.
Talking about OJ was back 94, 95.
Oh,
yeah,
OJ.
But again, that was a conspiracy. That's still a conspiracy today, too. That's another one.
That's still an ongoing conspiracy that I just don't even care about anymore.
But here's the thing. People want to say OJ did it, but it's now come out that people are putting 1 + 1 together. No, he didn't do it. It was more likely his damn son. Because he was having issues with her. They were supposed to come to the restroom, but I'm not going to go there with that. That's going to take us off what I'm talking about. But see what I'm saying? People put so much time and effort into conspiracies instead of dissecting what needs to be dissected. This country has been falling, but we're losing our luster. You know, it used to be all the red, white, and blue. Now it's gray. It's no longer red, white, and blue. It's gray. I'm not saying it's black and white. I'm not saying it's gray. Why is it gray? Because there's no more love being put into the homes. There's no more effort put into a home. No more effort being put into yourself. You're wasting your time and effort on something that don't even matter. Cancel culture.
So let me ask
people
you this.
that are part of this cancel culture, please tell me, what are you canceling? The people you're trying to cancel
don't really care.
They're still making money.
Because
the more you talk about them, the more publicity they get. Think about it. What is this? What is our world? What is the world, or that's not the world, the U.S. built on? Clickbait. You see a headline: Russell Westbrook beat his wife. What? What was that about? Oh man, that was it. That wasn't even right. Then it comes out, well, no, he didn't really beat her. She held him at gunpoint.
What? He's really making this up. This really didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen, but I'm giving you an example of clickbait, of what people put their time and effort into. They will put their time and effort to figure out, why did he beat his wife, or what caused it to happen, instead of, why is our country falling apart? Well, we all know it goes back to police reform. We all need to figure out what needs to be figured out, what can happen. If we can get rid of implied immunity, if we took the efforts that we did looking at all these conspiracies and turned around and put it into police implied immunity, getting rid of it, everybody aligning on that, a lot of shit will stop happening. A lot of shit will stop happening, because guess what? They're going to be held to a different accountability than they have been held.
Here's also another reason on police reform as well. Never mind. That's a topic for another story. We'll bring that up at another detail. But I can't believe that I'm actually going to say that. I agree with part of what the fuck you just said. I do.
I'm going to say something that everybody else is probably thinking. You keep saying you agree with parts, but you're not telling them what part.
So, police reform, absolutely. I agree with you in that. I think there should be a lot more focus put towards that, and a better effort put towards that as well. As far as the implied immunity goes, I feel like there would be controversy in trying to get rid of that in itself. That will take the focus away from police reform.
It's part of the police reform. That's not taking it away. It's part of the police reform.
Part of the police reform. Where would you go?
Because the whole thing is, if you were to say, you know what, we're putting all of your pensions here aside. Every time you got a violation, you lose part of that pension. If you end up killing someone and finding out that it was not in the right, you lose your pension. That pension you had is going to that family. It was 5 of you involved. All 5 of your pensions is going to that family.
Isn't there something like that already in place? No, because even with Chauvin, that's his name, Derek Chauvin, right? The George Floyd cop guy, Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's his name, right? His wife said that the pension she's not getting because he got convicted.
No, he's telling you because he got fired.
Yeah,
getting convicted has nothing to do with it. He got fired. Once you get fired for something like that, you're not getting a pension. That's just like if you get fired from your job. Oh, well, I got enough money for retirement. That's nice. You got fired. The only thing you got is a 401k, maybe. And you can't even touch it. So, yeah, it was the implied immunity is what makes that's what these cops put themselves on a higher pedestal. Another thing we talked about with that, staying with the police, I don't know why this is so huge right now. Why? We know why. But them protecting each other. Back to blue.
Oh, you're talking about the video I sent you. The witness that okay. So for those that I thought we were gonna bring that up for another one, but I guess we could close the show off on this one. So there's a video. Would you call her a witness or just somebody that was priorly accosted?
What's it called? A character witness.
A character witness. Yeah. I like that. So a lady got it, and it's all on our social media if you guys want to check this out. Gave warning to the Memphis PD in regards to one of the officers that ended up brutally killing Tyre Nichols. Gave a warning. Gave a warning about another officer, and here's the crazy part about it. She quit before the disciplinary committee could even discipline her. So they know what they're doing, and apparently going to, I think what you want more as far as we get is more hardened disciplinary actions than what's being brought forth. But then when you have officers that's going to say, fuck it, I quit before all this. Before,
and then go to another district.
Exactly. It defeats the purpose. And that's where my argument comes from, if that makes sense.
So what he's basically saying, if you guys don't know, if I work for, I'm trying to think familiar, what's Maricopa County? Right?
Maricopa County.
If I work for Maricopa County
Sheriff's Office,
and then I'm about to come up on charges or something's coming pending and I quit.
I beat an inmate to death or something happened, and now I'm about to face a disciplinary action.
Or if I even get a disciplinary action, that's going to be on my record. But I can leave that job and still get a state job. I went. And I in this case, he was working in the Memphis State Penitentiary, went for the Memphis Police Department. This man has a record of beating people. Okay, if you want to say, well, it's only one time. It's only one time that we know about.
No, this isn't one time. So it can't be one time.
Exactly. It's probably more than once, but this is the first one that was on paper because he beat him so bad he had to go to the infirmary, and they couldn't understand what happened.
And the lady that left Memphis PD dislocated this lady's shoulder trying to arrest her. Here's the problem. They were saying that there were shots fired in the area and that she went to this car because they were laughing in the car. So I can't laugh in my car and you're going to drag me out of my car for what? For what? And then this
you know what it was? She was laughing too hard.
Nah.
And they might have thought she was having a seizure, so she drug out of the car, right? And said, "Are you okay?" I just did my CPR training, so this is part of it. You shake them. Are you okay? Get the defibrillator.
I can't let you continue on with that bullshit. I just can't. No, absolutely not. No, bullshit.
But no, people, like, you got to understand, stop biting into these conspiracies. They're all over the place. Life is full of conspiracies. Life is what you make it, as they say, right? If you want to make your life full of conspiracies, fine, go ahead. But do me a favor. If you're going to make it full of conspiracies, make it about conspiracies that
matter.
Exactly. Make it about conspiracies that honestly,
like
you can.
Breonna Taylor.
Yes, we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down that route. Make it about the fact that 5 officers, dark blue officers. So we're not call them black.
No, call it what it is.
No,
they protect blue. Blue protects blue, and they don't protect civilians, and that's the problem.
No, this is where I'm going with this. And we talked about this. We got 5 dark blue officers that got fired, but you got 1 light blue officer who got suspended. All of them were part of this. Now, I want to talk. What's this dark blue, light blue reference? Okay,
black versus white. God damn it!
Thank you. Not going to sugarcoat it. You want to talk about conspiracy? There's your conspiracy to try and dissect. Why does he's still not being paid? He's still on leave, administrative leave. But why is he on administrative leave and they got fired and they even have him on camera tasing the guy? They have him on camera taking a part of this, part of the Scorpion crew. Hired killers. Too many of them. Too many of these, what do they want to call them? Too many of these units within police departments that are
fraternities within.
Yeah, you're right. Inner city fraternities. That's what they are.
Yeah. No, let's call it what it is. Gangs within a gang.
Gangs with a badge.
That part. They want to talk about, Crips, Bloods, Vice Lords, this, that, and everything else. All right, Scorpions. That was a goddamn gang.
That was a government gang. Just like I always say, and my service members, y'all know this. We are the biggest gang in the world. You think about it, military people, because guess what? When you go to a bar or something, you find somebody, sir. You don't
care what branch. You'll make fun of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll make fun of them.
But when it comes something go down,
what branch they serve from?
Because guess what? When something goes down, guess who's back? That's a gang you don't want to fuck with.
Jarhead.
I'm damn right. And I love being one, and I love seeing that. But we need to have a united front. If we want change, stop letting these things focus. Okay, yeah, they shot a balloon out of the air. So, did you get hit by the balloon? No. Did you shoot the balloon? No. Did it land on your property? No. So why the hell do you care? What is that going to do to your day-to-day life? Trying to find out where this balloon came from and what was its purpose. What is that going to do for your day-to-day life?
Because as Americans, they want to know if there's a threat that they got to prepare for. Why?
Well, you know what? No. There's a threat you got to prepare for. There's one that you see when you walk out your goddamn house.
That part. Say it one more time.
There's a threat when you walk out your door every day. That's a threat. There's a threat all around us. Think about Michigan State. I wasn't even going to talk about it. Random guy goes on campus, shoots 8 people, kills 3, and then kills himself. Come to find out, he had a list of places that he was going to go.
Yeah.
At least 2 other schools, universities. But you know what? No conspiracy there, huh?
Oh, they got him, so whatever.
Well, they didn't get him. He got himself.
Yeah.
He decided he was going to kill himself after that. This conspiracy stuff, Drop it, y'all. Drop it. Conspiracy? You want one?
Love one another.
I'll give you a conspiracy. They're remaking Barney.
Oh my God! Did you see that? Why did you go there? Shut up. We gotta go. It's time to go. This man brought up Barney. Oh my God, dude, for real?
It don't look like Barney, but that's what they said it is. It's Barney. They said it's Barney, but it do not look like Barney.
Until next week, folks. Same back channel, same back station. We'll be back. See you next week. Love you.